Welcome to another story made by Oracle 1. Third floor only. The elevator shuddered softly, doors whispering shut as Eliza pressed the call button in the dimly lit lobby of the Ashcroft building. She was late, as usual, her heels clicking impatiently on the polished marble floor beneath flickering fluorescent lights. The elevator hummed to life, metal cables vibrating subtly in its shaft as it ascended. The panel's small display blinked, first floor, then 3, skipping 2 entirely. Eliza frowned in surprise, pressing the button for the second floor again. The elevator shuddered but did not stop. Instead, a slow drip landed cold and wet on her hair. She glanced up, just in time to see a faint trickle of something dark and crimson seep through the ceiling panel above her head. Her heart leapt into her throat. The elevator jerked before arriving on the third floor with a ding that seemed too loud, too echoey. The doors slid open on an empty hallway bathed in pale, sterile light. Eliza's breath hitched as the scent of iron filled the air. That was no coincidence. Someone was bleeding. Someone very badly. Step by tentative step, Eliza moved out of the elevator, her heels muffled by the thick carpet. The corridor stretched before her, silent except for the distant hum of fluorescent bulbs and the occasional buzz of a faulty overhead fixture. Doors lined both sides, labeled with brass numbers, 301, 302, 303, but the second floor remained elusive, as if it had never existed at all. Her fingers trembled as she raised her phone, flashlight on, scanning the ceiling and walls for the source of the blood. The drip marked a path running toward the far end of the hall, a slow, steady pulse. The scent grew stronger, sick and metallic. "Who's there?" Eliza called softly, voice cracking slightly. No answer. No footsteps. Only that relentless drip, drip, drip. She hurried toward the faint sound, a wet slapping somewhere beyond room 309. Turning a corner, she saw the elevator shaft's door blocked partially open, a skinny gap shimmering with shadow and dread. A crimson smear ran down the narrow wall framing the door, thick and sticky. Eliza swallowed hard, her pulse quickening. There had clearly been an accident, or worse. She could see makeshift barricades, overturned chairs, dusty mop buckets, remnants of cleaning supplies piled haphazardly. Maybe the building's maintenance crew had intended to seal the shaft for repairs. Busted pipes, she muttered, trying to reassure herself, but the bleeding didn't match a burst pipe. It was too dark, too rich in color. Her phone buzzed suddenly, screen lighting up with a message from an unknown number. "Do not go to the second floor. It never existed. Trust me." A cold wave ran down her spine. She backed away from the shaft door, breath shallow. Questions surged. Why was the elevator skipping the second floor? Who sent the cryptic text? What lay behind that ominous gap in the door? The building manager was supposed to be at the second floor offices. She'd come to pick up some files. Instead, there was only silence, unnatural and heavy. Heart pounding, Eliza decided to investigate further, drawn by curiosity and a nagging sense of danger. The elevator was useless, so she took the stairwell instead, the iron steps creaking beneath her feet. The staircase was stark, claustrophobic, dim, with peeling paint and grimy windows that stained the afternoon light with gray. Floor by floor, she counted silently, first, second, third. But when she reached the landing that should be the second floor, there were only cold concrete walls and the dull thud of silence pressing in. No doors, no sign of offices or life. It was an empty shell. Her eyes caught a flicker of movement, shadows shifting just beyond the stairwell window, a flash of pale skin or paper. Her breath caught as a low groan slipped through the walls. Goosebumps prickled over her skin, and an urge to flee warred with her need to understand. She stepped through the cracked door of the landing. No floor, just an iron-girded balcony overlooking the building's cavernous basement far below. The second floor was physically missing. Removed. Wiped away like it never existed. The groaning came again, closer now, a ragged rasp as if someone fought for breath. Blood dripped again, a dark stain seeping from a fracture in the concrete above. Eliza's head tilted upward to see a concealed access panel slightly ajar. From within the dark cavity, a voice rasped, "Help me, please." Every instinct screamed to run, but Eliza knelt, reaching inside. Cold fingers closed around hers, clammy with something warm and sticky. She pulled a man's pale face into view, his eyes wide with terror, smeared with blood and dirt. His mouth trembled as he gasped fragile words. "I was sent here, to hide from them." Eliza wrapped her jacket tightly around him, feeling a slight shivering from exhaustion and shock. His name was Daniel, a maintenance worker who had been trapped beneath the building during some strange renovations. The second floor had been sealed completely, erased to conceal something far darker than a mere accident. Daniel whispered of a conspiracy, illegal experiments, missing people, and a corporation with roots tangled far beyond the Ashcroft building's veneer of corporate professionalism. The blood, the sealed floor, the skipped elevator, they were all part of a cover-up. Eliza's world blurred as she helped Daniel stand, supporting his weight as they moved through the half-destroyed remnants of the non-existent second floor. The truth was buried within the walls, literally. Behind layers of concrete and secrecy waited answers that could topple powerful men and shake the city's foundation. As they crept back toward the elevator, Eliza's mind raced. The blood, the messages, and Daniel's pale face dragged her deeper into a shadowy labyrinth where every step could be her last. She glanced again at the elevator panel. First, elevator skips the second floor, then third, then fourth, the display beginning to flicker erratically before going dark. The elevator was alive, watching them. Third floor only was no accident, but a bloody warning. And the building was still hungry. For more stories, like and subscribe.